This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri, your boy on Pulse 95 Radio. Can't believe it's 2021 already, and it's the first show of 2021, so I'm bringing that fire to you guys right now. Right, okay, guys, so on today's show, the question of the day is, what domino will you be resetting in 2021? Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, domino? I'm not hungry. It's not that kind of domino. If you know, I have published a book called Reset, and I use the domino system. Now, in that domino system, there are 5 dominoes, and each domino represents something that we have in our pillars to be able to try and achieve sustainability in fitness. So the question I'm asking you is, which domino will you be working on in 2021, and how will you be sustaining it? All right, so I'm going to give you some time to ponder over that, and then I'm going to take you back and ask all those questions to you guys out there about what kind of stuff you'll be doing different, because I want to know as well. All right, so what to look forward to this year in sport? Which sport are you looking forward to the most? There's the return of certain athletes coming back into, the fray. 2020 was a bit, let's say, temperamental in terms of scheduling, in terms of all things, for obvious reasons, and logistically it was very, very tough. But we did have some sports kick back, the year, which was good. Who is going to be standing out for you in 2021 in terms of the athletes? So yes, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. But to start off with, the calendar year looks kind of interesting, and I wanted to kind of share that with you. Now, many things have been kind of brought back in terms of scheduling, obviously for obvious reasons, but we are looking forward to a few things. Handball fans out there, January 14th, the World Championship kicks off in Egypt, which should be fun. You've got multi-sports in winter in Switzerland. Extreme sports. How many of you guys out there actually watch extreme sports? I don't actually know much about it, but guess where it's going to be? It's going to be in Colorado, Aspen, where else, obviously. And then you've got football. The FIFA Club World Cup will be in Qatar in February the 1st. Special Olympics, February 6th. That's one thing I actually really always look forward to, the Special Olympics, because anytime I'm kind of slacking, as soon as I watch Special Olympics, I've got the step going on. I did it in the studio now. If you're watching on YouTube, you must have seen me just kind of bounce up a little bit. So the Special Olympics, the World Winter Games, will be in Sweden, which is kind of cool. Rugby, 6 Nations, rugby fans, where you at? The rugby will be back on, and that will be February 6th in the UK, Ireland, France, and Italy. The 6 Nations will be kicking. And then you've got the Super Bowl, and that's going to be in Tampa, Florida, February 7th. Tennis, Australia Open, February 8th. See, there's a lot of action lined up. Skiing, how many fans out there for skiing? We got February 9th to the 21st, and that will be in Italy. You've also got the World Ski Championships in Germany. What else? Athletics. It's been a while since I kind of watched athletics. Athletics, March 19th to the 21st. It will be in China. World Athletics Indoor Championship. You've got... What else have you got? Golf fans. I hear some people always telling me, Omar, why don't you put some golf on the show? April 8th, Golf Masters will be in Georgia, USA. You've also got table tennis. That's going to be in April. There's not a confirmed date for that. Snooker, the World Snooker Championship, April 17th. It's a good month, April. We like April. And you've also got the horse racing, May 1st in Kentucky, USA. Now, going down to the end of the year, around May time, you've got the FA Cup final, you've got the French Open in tennis, the UEFA Champions League, May 29th. What else we got? The Euro 2020, which was postponed, is now obviously going to be in 2021. That's going to be June 11th. You've got the Copa America as well, which is also on June 11th. That's going to be interesting. The NBA Finals, that will be in June as well in USA and Canada. And also you've got the FIFA Club World Cup in June as well. African Nations Cup. We love the African Nations Cup. That's going to be on in June as well. So one thing, having lived in London for a while, I used to always watch Wimbledon. It's the only time the weather was actually good. That's going to be June 28th. So I can't wait for Wimbledon to come back. In June 28th to July 11th. There's just something about London when it comes down to Wimbledon time. It's the only time the weather's good. It's the only time that people are happy as well to see each other because there's no rain. You know what I mean? That's one thing I don't miss about London. I miss the people, I just don't miss the rain. So there's that as well, and there's so many things there. But what are you guys looking forward to? People are coming back. Like Connor McGregor's coming back this month. You've got John Jones will be fighting later on this year. Israel Adesanya coming back this year. Tyson Fury should be back as well. Let me know. Text me 4215 Ittasalat Urdu or slide into my DMs at Omar Duri and let me know. What are you looking forward to most in the sports calendar year? I'll be right back, guys. Peace.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
Salam and welcome back to the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri. I am your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Thank you very much for locking in with me on the hour. Pulse 95 Radio, the heart of Sharjah. And it is 2021. Happy New Year to everyone who's out there, everyone who's been listening, supporting and following myself and the whole Pulse 95 Radio team. Thank you very, very much. Okay, now, so the question of the day is, what domino will you be resetting in 2021? Now, for those that don't know, I published a book called Reset. And in that book called Reset, I have a domino system which is based on 5 pillars. Each pillar is there to help you out. Now, the reason why I use a domino system is because normally we have quite good things, quite good positive things that we do. And there are things that are quite challenging and that we need work on. So one thing can affect the whole chain reaction, and that's why I use a domino system. So among those dominoes, there's 5 dominoes. There is nutrition, there is training, there is mindset, there is resetting your environment, and there is recovery. So that's basically the domino system. Now, the question for you is, now, whenever we get to the new year, everyone talks about New Year's resolution. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to ask you, which domino will you be resetting in 2021? Let me know. I'm very, very interested to find that out, because I think we've had some great ones so far. I think Terry said she's going to be doing, her training. She's going to be switching up her training. Sorry, not her training, her nutrition, which is going to be awesome. And she's also set herself a date, which is quarterly. I love that. Then you got Masoud, who's saying he's going to reset his environment, which is fantastic. I like that. Now, I'll give you some options and you can make up your mind. In Reset, like I said, I like to refer to a domino system, and each pillar carries its own weight. So the reason I use this is because sometimes we really think we could be doing really, really well, and there could be one thing affecting everything. So, which one will you be focusing on? Is it going to be nutrition coming into the new year? Excluding something out of your meal, like processed food or sugar, could come a long way when cleansing the body. Instead of excluding, you might choose to include things such as probiotics to encourage gut health and influence the way we digest and perform on a daily basis. So that's one of the things that you might want to do. Training has always been a favorite when it comes to New Year's. People join gyms, they go excited, they go crazy, and they go in for the past couple of weeks. And then things kind of, start to get back into place in terms of routine, and it seems quite challenging. So what will you be doing to sustain that same enthusiasm throughout the year? If that is your domino that you're going to be picking, let me know. Perhaps a personal goal or even joining with a friend might actually motivate you to join together, do things together. Shout out to my RBO crew as well, who's always motivated me. This might also help the two of you commit and hold yourself accountable. So those are a couple of things we're kind of working with when it comes down to that. There is also mindset. Now, when it comes down to mindset, it's always been something I cover a lot on the show and in my book. Mental fitness requires practice, and not just once a week. I think pretty much a couple of times a week, if not every single day. So what will you be doing which is going to be good for your brain? We've spoken about Wim Hof breathing. We've talked about meditation. We've talked about breathing. How are you going to manage your anxiety, your self-doubt? Are you going to be incorporating things that's going to be worth self-love? See, there's all these things that you kind of do when it comes down to mindset, which would be good. Recovery, that's another one. It's probably the most neglected pillar, I would say, in Reset, which is the main reason people fall off their personal fitness journey. It's not because they can't do it, it's because they're probably overdoing it. So burnout and overdoing it may be good for the ego, but time always catches up with you when you don't manage expectations. Last but not least, resetting your environment. Now, we all know that traveling is not what it used to be. And because we can't travel, we have to actually be able to create our own environment in the space that we're in. And more than ever, 2020 taught that. So coming into 2021, thankfully here in this part of the world, we're not as restricted, but we're still kind of respecting social distancing, etc. But for example, if you look at the UK, they've gone into, tier 4 and lockdowns and all sorts of stuff all over Europe. So how are you going to be resetting your environment? Sleep can be the difference in sustaining your New Year's resolution. Will you be sleeping more, for example? Will you be decluttering more, making the bed as soon as you wake up to have a fresh bed at night can be the difference in sleeping well. So which domino from the Reset model will you be following in 2021? Hit me up, 4215 Itasalat or do, or slide into my DMs at Omar Duri, and I'll mention it on the show. I'll be right back, guys, so make sure, go get yourself something to drink, chill, and I'll be right back after this. Enjoy, guys. Peace.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri. Thank you very much for connecting with me today. I really appreciate you spending the time with me at 3 on Pulse 95 Radio. Amazing, amazing. Shout out to RR as well, who's in the studio with me. My guy, how you doing, my bro? You good? Yeah? Excellent. Wicked. All right. And everyone else is connected. Thank you very much. So I was speaking to someone yesterday, actually. It's kind of funny. I was speaking to someone yesterday. It's amazing, when you meet different people, cultures. And yesterday I was saying, what's up? And her name was Cindy with an S. So I said, I'm going to give her a shout out because she got one of the coolest names, Cindy Suweti. So there's your shout out. Right. The question I have for today is, if you could encourage your children to get into any sport, what would it be? Now, we've had some fantastic comments already coming in. Almas says, do not pressure your children into sports you like. Almas is 13, so she's going to be a great mom. Hatem says swimming, 100% key skills, life skills, and great from an athleticism perspective. Irish moms say, seems like a great guy and a family man, which is, I think, Cristiano we were talking about in the break. Your kids will gravitate towards their own I like it. Alma says, let us play and develop our passion. That's what my mom did for me. Very nice. Keep the comments coming in. What's up, Jimmy? What's up, Ali? How you guys doing? Great to see you guys in the Instagram with me. Now, guys, if you do miss the show, you can catch us on podcasts. We've got podcasts out there, so Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, or if you prefer visual, head over to our YouTube, and that's where we kind of have some fun with it, because we've got Super Mario and Gabby who make the shows into episodes and throw them on the Pulse 95 Radio YouTube channel. So the question I'm asking you for today is, what domino will you be resetting in 2021? The domino system is something that I have in my book Reset, which is based on 5 pillars. It's nutrition, it's training, it's mindset, mental fitness, and then you've got the reset your environment domino, and then you have recovery. So let me know, hit me on 4215 Itasalat or do. And on this segment, I'm actually asking this question because I'm very intrigued how you guys think, especially the parents out there. If you could encourage your children to get into any sport, what would it be? And is it a personal choice or a sport that benefits them physically and mentally? Because a lot of the times these kids are very, very young when they start sports. And I'm always intrigued to ask my friends out there who've got kids, how do you know what your daughter or your son are going to get into? The pressure is kind of like whether there's following a trend, whether there's a passion from the parent as well. For example, if you look at me, I don't have any kids, but if you look at me, people normally say, oh, well, your son's going to be a footballer. But I think that's the pressure already that we kind of put on people when, you have kids and things like that. So yeah, is that something that's going to be you? Are you going to let them decide for themselves? But nowadays, the problem is we're enrolling our kids into academies very young. So then Hatem said something which was very interesting. He said, get them on swimming. And I love that. My boy Derek in London, he's got a very, very good mind when it comes to health and fitness. And his son Ish, shout out to Ishmael as well, is almost like a professional footballer now. I don't know, how old is he? Is he 11, 12? They're getting old, these kids. So he's playing semi-pro at the moment, but he's gone through athletics and stuff, and that's very interesting. And I like the fact that parents kind of test the water with different things. Jiu-jitsu is one I've always heard about. I've always heard people talking very highly of jiu-jitsu, especially for kids, and it's safe as well. My Matar is saying, I'm always cautious from pushing my kids too much, especially when I want them to do something that I loved or wish I did. Yes, see, that's exactly why I'm asking those questions. It's a very, very good question out there. It's not that obvious, actually, when it comes down to how you actually work with children. Do you push them into a certain direction? Do you go to a place that has a bunch of different activities and see what they like? But then sometimes when you don't have someone that specializes in one thing, kind of takes away a bit of the sauce, let's say, on the sport. So let me know. I'm very interested. Parents out there, this one's for you guys. How do you get your kids into sports? And is it based on something that you love? Is it based on something that you've researched? Have you looked online? Is it depending on the country that you're in as well? where you have some of the best specialists in the world, all around the world. Is that something that you guys look into? Let me know. I'm going to play some Angel. I love this track. Blessings featuring... it's a remix featuring French Montana. God, one of the great tracks. And sending you guys love and blessings for 2021. Enjoy this track. Here you go.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. I'm your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Thank you very much for all your comments, man, especially in the break. It's kind of cool because I don't have a co-host. So I kind of, engage with those people who are locked in on YouTube, for example. So shout out to Rawan, who's tuned in, I think, from the UK. And he goes, Amor, love from Rawan. Great, man. Thank you very much, Rawan. Appreciate that. And then you've got, obviously, here, all the fantastic people who are locked in on the Instagram Live. Maya comes up with the question of the day before I tell you what Maya said. So I asked, what domino will you be resetting in 2021? That's kind of been the theme of the show. And Maya said, I love your 5 pillars. For me, there are 4 components that I want to reinforce to stay on track. 1, commitment. 2, control. 3, and challenge. 4, confidence equals mental toughness. Love that. Thank you very much, Maya. That's brilliant. What's up, William? What's up, Jack? What's up, Aida? Mazvi, Kutsai, Christian, Nikki, Cindy, and everyone else who's locked in. Masoud, finally, you are now an actor. Definitely wouldn't call myself an actor after one performance. But yeah, shout out to The Long Game and Mustafa Abbas for the fantastic movie. They're actually streaming it out today in the UK, which is great. Hatem, what domino do you think the world needs to concentrate on? Oh, that's a good question, Hatem. You're trying to take my job. I think, Hatem, actually you mentioned it earlier. I think mental fitness, I think mindset is very, very important. I think they all kind of interlink in reset, and I think everyone needs to reset. I genuinely believe that it's something that the whole world was forced to do. If people were kind of neglecting 1 or 2 things last year, it kind of hit everyone. I think some people weren't fortunate enough to make it through 2020, and that is really, really tough to kind of accept. But some people did, and in doing so, just being grateful, being mindful, and being aware. Everyone's going through their own challenge. Everyone faces their own, obstacles that they have to tackle every day. And sometimes people are quiet about it. And that's why mental health is so important, because we're able to, it's a silent killer. And even yesterday, someone who plays for Dundee United sadly took his life as well. And this is where I think we just have to be a bit more, just let things go sometimes, and just be aware that life is so precious, and we're grateful to be on this planet. And so to answer your question, Hatem, I think the whole world, needs to reset and just kind of needs to strip things down and look at what's important, what's valuable, what's something that they kind of have to embrace and be grateful for. And I think that's the key. It's not about what we don't have, it's about what we have. I think that's the lesson I think we've all been forced to do. For those that don't know, I ended up, contracting the virus, COVID-19. I went through it. It was tough. And I've always been complimented for having a strong mindset, and it was challenging for me. So saying that, I was fortunate enough to have, my mom, my wife, my cousin, and all my friends who were reaching out to me during this period when you're kind of alone. And it was tough. So I kind of measure it through that and say, if I'm going through this and it's tough, and I try to practice mental fitness every day, what are other people doing? That's why sometimes asking about people's, giving someone a call you haven't for a long time, it goes a long way. So I think that's something, I genuinely believe, Hatem. I hope that answered your question. Masoud, from 5 dominoes, which domino are you close to? Am I close to? Do you mean which domino do I need working on? Someone asked me that question earlier. I think all the dominoes I need working on, to be very honest. I don't think there's one domino I need to focus on, and that's what I've kind of approached. But I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of things to map it. I'm a visual person. I need to see things. I'm not someone who can just kind of imagine it. So I think visualizing is very, very important. I think mapping out is very, very important. And I think that's why everyone has their own thing. The Wim Hof breathing really helped me as well when I was in isolation. That was really tough because I had problems breathing afterwards. So take your time, guys. Make sure you're grateful. Make sure you're mindful. We are reaching full time on the halftime show. It is 2021. This is the first episode of 2021. Thank you very much for connecting with me and locking in with me. It's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed today's show a lot. It's I can't wait to watch it back because it's been brilliant. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you very much. And shout out to everyone who's tuned in. Much love to you guys. And remember, I'll be back on Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 3 to 4. Shout out to everyone all around the world who's locked in. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I'll be back. Peace.
If you liked this episode of The Halftime Show, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.